Train. Hi everybody, so Big Mike here, and I spent the day with a friend of mine, Adolfo, and we went out to another friend's house, Jim Aust. Jim models the Great Northern Railroad. He was born in Minnesota, born and raised in Minnesota, met his wife up there while he was going to college. The railroad played a big part in his life. He worked for the Great Northern, and he eventually worked for the Burlington Northern at some point as a bridge engineer. He's been here in Texas for about 26 years after retiring from the Burlington Northern. Worked for a long time as a streetcar operator here in Dallas. That's how I met him. And he has spent the last 16 years or so building this layout. It's a gorgeous layout. I think you guys are absolutely going to love it. That's why I went and took video of it today. So the railroad also played a big part in his marriage proposal, and you're going to hear a story at the end of the video about that. So I ask that you watch till the end. And he had a great adventure as far as asking his wife to marry him. And it's one of the better proposal stories I've ever heard. So anyway, enjoy the video. Thanks for watching as always. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and please share this with your friends. Thanks. Big Mike here with Adolfo. Say hi, Adolfo.
Hey.
There's Jim back over there in the back. Say hi, Jim.
Howdy.
So anyway, we're at Jim Aust's house, and we are playing trains today. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen Jim Aust's layout, but it's one of the better layouts as far as I'm concerned, as far as scenery is concerned. And as far as runnability is concerned, it's still DC. It's not DCC. Most people converted to DCC, but Jim's old hat. So he likes to keep things old school. Anyway, brilliant layout. Hopefully we'll have a lot of trains running later. Right now we're just running my stuff. So, which Jim has been nice enough to let me run. So anyway, go see some shots of that here in a little bit. Yes. No, it's a private train.
This is a private train too. It's a board director special.
Oh, is it?
It's named for all the grandkids.
That one?
It's 288. It's a 2680. Great Northern built, designed and built their own.
Grace came from Montana to go to school, and we met in Minneapolis at our church.
Yeah.
And we've been dating about 2 years. And I had went out to meet her family in just before August, I think. No, mid-August. Went out to meet her family. She had 2 brothers and 4 sisters. Yeah, 7. Anyway, the sisters, several of them migrated from Montana to Minneapolis anyway, but the brothers still farmed out west. One was still on the home place, and her dad was still living then. And I met the whole family, and while I was there, I told her mother in 3 weeks I'd be back, because I knew Grace's plans were to come back home after the weekend we met out at her place, and she was going home for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I knew the day that her train ticket was to come home, 3 weeks hence. So I told her mother, look for me on Saturday, but don't tell Grace I'm coming, or anybody else. So I hopped a freight. I was planning to hop a freight train out to Wolf Point, Montana, and I knew enough about the freight schedules leaving Minneapolis that I knew when there was 11 o'clock freight left about every day, same time. And I knew where there were Minneapolis Junction I could get on. My dad took me down there. Before I went, I had mailed, I didn't think I wanted to hop a freight and carry the engagement ring with me, so I had cut out the inside of a book and mailed it to myself, general delivery at Wolf Point.
Yeah.
So on the day, it was a Saturday, I caught the train, or no, it's Friday morning. I got there. Friday about noon train left, and I rode on a flat car with some machinery on it. Had a nice ride, a beautiful day. I knew where they changed crews at Wilmer, and they changed crews at Breckenridge, and they changed crews at Minot, and they changed crews at Williston. Well, we stopped just out of Breckenridge a little ways to wait for a pickup. They were making a connection with some cars coming out of Fargo, and the train was stopped in the curve, and I got off the train. I was throwing rocks at a telephone pole, and the brakeman came from the caboose to rear, and he says, "Where are you riding?" I said, on that flat car there. "Oh, no, right there." He says, "We ever go on the ground, we ever pile up, you haven't got a chance here, all right? Now, get in. We got a lot of empty boxcars. Get in one of them," he says. Got down up to the head end. So I ignored his instruction there because it was still daylight.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ride in the boxcar. But when we got to Minot, the train pulled into Minot and stopped. And pretty soon the oiler came along, all on the journal boxes. And I says, this train continuing west? No, he said they're going to hump it. Oh, I said, okay. So I got off and started walking west up the track. Well, here was another string of cars heading out to throw the yard. I didn't know he's going west. That's where I'm going to go. So I jumped in this time I got in an empty boxcar that happened to be covered with flour on the floor.
Okay.
But I got in, and sure enough, it was a westbound. There's only one way they go west out of Minot, so good. On that trip, while I was sleeping in the night, somehow I took my glasses off, and then I woke up in the dark. I couldn't find them. They were in the flour, but it was dawning about Williston, and I found my glasses. Everything's cool. Wolf Point is 100 miles west of Wolf Point. It used to be a crew change, but now they had switched to just... Had eliminated one crew change in favor of stopping at Glasgow, which is another 50 miles. Well, when we're coming to Wolf Point, where I'm fixing to get off, we're going too fast. I just couldn't no way I can jump out of that boxcar at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But I knew they stopped at Glasgow to change crews, so I wasn't too worried. And I got out at Glasgow and hitchhiked back on the highway. I went to the post office, got the ring. And then I went to walk. Grace's farm, my family's farm, was north of Wolf Point, 18 miles on the highway. Well, I started hitchhiking out the road, and here comes a car stops, and it went past me a little. I ran up, opened the car door. Aunt Lena, I said. Jim, she says, what are you doing here? Well, I had met this aunt of Grace's who lived in a neighboring farm on the previous weekend. She remembered me. Oh, I normally don't pick up hitchhiker, she said, but this is harvest, and I thought you were one of the custom combiners, so I was going to pick you up. What are you doing here? Well, I'm just going to see Grace, and so she took me right to the farm then. And I surprised the dickens out of Grace. I didn't know this till later in our married life. She was upset with her mother because she took me down to her bedroom. She hadn't made her bed yet.
Oh, wow.
So she was upset with her mom. Anyway, we had a good weekend, and I had a ticket for the same train she's coming home on. So the eastbound Empire Builder went to Wolf Point about noon, a little mid-afternoon. Got to Minot about 8 o'clock, and so after Minot, we went to the diner, and I sprung for a steak, which was not my normal.
Wasn't your MO?
No.
You didn't normally get steak.
But nothing tumbled to her. Well, so turns out that on the diner, we met a mutual acquaintance from our church back in Minneapolis who was a nonstop talker. And Henry would not leave us. We shut down the diner.
Wow.
We were the last three in the diner. Finally, he went back to his coach, and
you got the ring burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, the Great Dome car is right behind the diner. That divides the first class section from the coach.
Yeah.
And the Great Dome was first class car, but it was 9:30 at night, and it's shut down for the night, and it's open because the trainmen go through there. So we went back there, and went up to the dome, and we went there, sat down. Halfway between Minot and New Oxford, I popped the question.
And you asked her to marry you?
Yeah.
Under the stars in the Great Dome car?
Yeah. And in the Great Dome car.
And she said yes.
And she said yes.
Yeah.
And then we got home in the morning, about 6:30 in the morning. Her sisters were living in Minneapolis then, so they were picking her up, and my dad and one sister picked me up, and they knew my plans, so they're checking out Grace's hand, and Grace is trying to flash it for her sister.
Trying to flash it for her sister. And so of course, being a railroad man, and then I think it's great that your little empire builder up there has you and Grace in it. So, and like by yourselves in the dome car. So, and it was between Minot and where? So I want to thank Jim Aust again for letting us come out and play on his railroad this evening. So as you can see, Adolfo was shooting video as well, but he is doing just a video. So whereas I was actually running some trains, it was something I'd wanted to do for a couple of years, and Jim was kind enough to let me do it. Adolfo's video is going to be on his channel. It's One TardiSgrade Univers. Look it up. It's pretty much spelled the way it sounds. One ONETARDISGRADE Univers, VERS, the number 3. So I'll put a link in the description below. Once again, though, thanks to Jim Aust and thanks to Adolfo for joining me and heading out there. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed Jim's story. It's quite a story for asking his wife to marry him. Anyway, appreciate it. Thanks. Enjoy the video. Subscribe below, please. And let me know what you think. Bye.